Hello and welcome to the Early Years Staff Meeting with me, Sarah.
And me, Steph. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
We're still
I'm doing really well.
We're still sort of getting used to the whole introducing ourselves on the podcast, aren't we?
We are. It's a little bit alien to us, so you'll have to bear with us. We're not, we're
novices.
We're very novices. So, yeah, just be patient. But we're trying to keep it real, so it's not polished. But today we're just going to have a little quick chat. It's very topical. It's about Mother's Day cards.
It's the big, do we or don't we make Mother's Day cards?
Definitely.
And cards.
It's cards that are production line, or cards that are truly one in a unique cards, I'd say.
Because I think, we both in our careers of teaching have definitely, gone down the production line before. And I think
we've all busted out the daffodil card quite a few times.
With the egg cup. With the egg cup in the middle. And, as a parent, it is nice to get those cards. And I have got them from my own children and sort of put them away in a little folder, probably up in the loft somewhere now. So, you can see it from that point of view where it is nice to get a card. It's nice to give a card. However, I think the real debate here is, what is it the children actually get out of making, a craft that's set by an adult and they're just following a set of instructions.
Yeah, and I think also for a staff member having to do that, it's the pressure of having to get all the children to get them done. And I think the first few children probably get the very, very best experience out of that production line, but maybe the last children perhaps don't.
And you just frantically, grab the feathers and put them there. No, not there.
Put your hand in the paint. Get your thumb in. Get your thumb in.
Spread your fingers.
I think we've all been there. And then the writing in the card inside is usually, sometimes it's copied or even printed out for them. And they're told what to write. I think we're perhaps more coming to the realisation as practitioners that perhaps this isn't best practice anymore. And the lovely ladies at the Curiosity Approach, so if you haven't heard of them, if you go to their Facebook page, they are on there, and they probably would be doing a post soon, I would imagine, about this kind of thing, about how not to do a production line, but how to make authentic child-led cards.
And I've also seen before, you can put like a label that goes out on the back of a card to parents, and it just sort of explains that, this card has been made for you with love, and it's been made, in a unique way. So ask your child about it, ask what it represents and what it means, just as a way of sort of, being able to explain that and carry that on at home.
And I think how I've seen it done in other settings is that in their provision, they've just put out a range of coloured card and some lovely pens and a few like little crafting accessories, and children have just been free to create their own masterpiece on the front. And actually, I think the teacher has taught the skill of how to fold the card and that the writing goes inside. But obviously, it's their own work, so they can create it however they like.
And I've done it this way before, and the children will just amaze you with what they can do. Like, I've done this before. I've had sort of cards with little pop-up features, and using just a range of materials. So it's just about giving children the opportunity to express themselves and not be bound by something that we've seen on Pinterest that looks quite nice.
Okay. So a few years ago, I was doing the old production line, and we were doing that card with the teapot on, and the tea bag inside.
Nice touch.
I
think
lovely touch.
I think I have one of those.
Cheap gift. You probably do. I do.
Yeah. The tea bag's still there.
Yeah, the tea bag is still there, actually. Anyway, I was making the tea bag, getting the tea bag, and I was rushing, and I gave the child a Pritt stick, and I said, right, glue in the tea bag, and frantically pointing where I wanted them to put the tea bag. And the child just looked up at me and said, "What's tea bag in?" It's just like, put the tea bag in. Put the tea bag in. And they'll go, "What's tea bag in?"
Oh, no.
My TA at the time literally was just crying with laughter, so much so she had to leave the room. She came back in.
No.
She was crying with laughter again, had to leave. And then all day long, she was just ribbing me. "What's tea bag in? What's tea bag in?" So that is the moral of the story, is no production cards.
Unless you want to answer some very awkward questions.
Exactly. Yes, about some very inappropriate things. I just completely ignored them and just carried on trying to get the darn cards finished in time for them to go home on the Friday, ready for Mother's Day on the Sunday.
Oh. Well, we won't be doing that this year, Sarah.
No, we definitely won't be doing that this year. We'll be getting out the range of cards and all the lovely bits and pieces, and just letting the children do what they want.
And I think as well, like, you do have to be sensitive around the topic of Mother's Day, Father's Day, all these celebrations, and be mindful that not all children have the same family setup. So it's just sort of being aware of that. We're not promoting that you have to make a Mother's Day card. You can make a card for somebody that you love, It could be.
It's just all about the language you use, isn't it? So I think in the past, in our setting, we've just called it Lovely Ladies Day, and that's
really
just
nice.
Any lovely lady you want to give it to, you're welcome to. And the same for Father's Day. It's Marvelous Men Day. It's we don't even use the language of Mothers and Father's Day, because it just excludes those children that perhaps don't have those relationships with their mothers and fathers.
Yes, absolutely.
Or it's a bit complex. So you just do have to be very sensitive.
Well, I hope.
Right, and that's us finished.
I hope you have a nice Mother's Day if you manage to get your tea bag in your cup and get a cup of tea out of the children.
I might get a little bit of a lay-in if I'm very lucky, but I doubt it with my very young children.
This might be our first explicit language
episode.
We might have to have a little
language. Yes. We might have to put a little E on there. So apologies to anybody who is offended
by the content of our podcast on early education.
On early educations, but yes, innuendos happen all the time in early years.
Oh, they do.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. But that's what makes it magical in a way.
Absolutely.
The innocence of them.
The innocence and, the laughter.
And sometimes you just have to laugh. And if you don't, you might cry.
Yeah, that is true.